What is up, the Entrepreneur DNA family? We are back with another incredible guest, very interesting guest. He is an individual that came from being in a cult. He has also lost everything financially, down to $350,000 in debt, and he has made it all back and is refreshed in teaching other entrepreneurs how to be amazing. Multi-millionaire Gary Coxe is in the house. What's up, partner?
Man, good to be here, my friend. Good to be here. Finally get to meet you in person.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
We've been on the phone a lot recently.
Yeah.
And you do something very special. But I have to come right out of the gate. You were in a cult.
I was.
Talk to us about
I had a crazy story, not to, I don't want to bore anybody, but was very successful as a teenager, making over $100,000 a year. Got married. My wife and I had a baby. Then it changed the trajectory of my life forever. Later on, she tells me, Justin, that baby wasn't mine.
Oof.
Grandfather and stepfather died of cancer. Uncle killed in a plane crash. I get a phone call from my mother that my father had just been shot point blank in his chest, drowned in his own blood. All this by the time I was 21 years of age. As you mentioned, I was in a cult, born and raised in that. I left that in my 40s. And when you leave this cult, your so-called friends and family are programmed to shun you and treat you as if you're dead for the rest of your life. That put me in the tailspin, $350,000 in debt, literally living on my mattress, air mattress, on the floor in my office. Went to the gym, not to take to work out, but to take my showers, and turn it all around. So it's taught me the ability to how to literally reprogram my thinking. And I did like 3 years on Dr. Phil show, the doctor showing people, and I claim this is not in an arrogant way, that I can do it in an hour what a therapist or consultants don't do in a year, because I've been through so much. So I understand how we work and how we think. You can't just, it's like what we'll talk about today is how often do we know the things that we need to do? The quit smoking, the losing weight, the increasing your income, but you can't get yourself to do it. What's the psychological reason behind that? And when you understand the psychology, you understand how to make changes quickly. And that's what I'm about, how to take massive action, take changes quickly, no matter what's happened to you in your past.
Well, and you have heard my podcast before, and you know some of these guests and the stories behind it. And you have a very similar story, not similar to anyone else.
Yeah.
But you had every reason to call it quits. You had every reason to hang it up, to just be mediocre, to be blah, go work at Best Buy or wherever.
Right.
And just exist.
Yep.
Why or how did you choose not to do that?
Man, I just don't want to feel defeated. I don't want to lose. I could cry, right? I just refuse to lose. Not in a win-lose, football game type of thing, but I don't want life to beat me, and I definitely don't want that friggin' cult to beat me, right? And here's what I found out where this relates to so many people and everybody actually watching. The problems that people have in their business and in their personal life stem from the trauma that you have stuck in your emotional hard drive. And if you don't know how to clean that out and know the patterns of behavior that it keeps you in, that keeps you from having more success, then you'll keep doing the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same results. So what I help people do is when you think about your computer's hard drive, right? You actually, you've been on your computer before and it gets real slow or bogged down. The reason it does it, it's your fault. You don't even know you're doing it. You're bogging it down. You go online and you see a PDF you want to download, you click it once. And if you get like me, you get a little impatient. So what do? Now you double click it.
Yeah.
You literally downloaded that 3 times.
Yeah.
Now imagine doing that for many months or many years. Your computer is going to slow down.
No doubt.
We work the exact same way. So if you had something happen to you when you were 5 years old or 5 years ago, 5 days ago, every time you relive that in your mind, you're programming your cycle deeper and deeper and deeper. And if you don't know how to clean that stuff out, you're going to feel like you're pushing a parked car. You'll be active, but you'll feel like you're accomplishing nothing. Active, but accomplishing nothing.
So give me step number one in, again, you've heard me say this, but I have 5 laws of success. The first is decide what you want and then decide who you need to be to get that thing you want, right? What would be the first step for someone to be able to unwind if you could? And it's probably not a one step
not. You're right, but you're going on the right course. So here's one of the things that I tell people to do. And if you're taking notes and you're able to, I'm going to strongly suggest you jot this down. If you're not taking notes, I'm going to strongly suggest you jot this down. Or at least remember this. Here's the thing. Your brain will validate all of your beliefs, whether they are right or wrong.
Yep.
All right? So one of the things that I had to break is my life was so hard. How could I not associate that my life was pretty hard? I got proof to validate it, right?
I would say your life was pretty darn hard.
So what I have to do is I have to make sure I don't validate that. So here's how I could validate that. Let's say I leave today and, the car breaks down or whatever. It goes, oh, my God, nothing goes right for me. The moment I say that, I'm validating that belief that nothing goes right for me. So now what I have to do is if something like that happens, I have to say something differently so I don't validate like, well, it's life. It's the way, I win more than I lose. Things like that. And you're validating your beliefs all day long for the good and also for the bad. But most people are not consciously aware of that. So if you can be consciously aware that you validate all of your beliefs, whether they are right or wrong, and then learn to validate and when you're doing it. So when you're going about your day, what are the beliefs that you're validating all day long? And that's where conscious awareness is so, so, so important.